Boom, and we're back. Guys, I want to apologize here. I've tried to make, this is my third time trying to make this breakdown video. I don't know why my iMovie's been acting a fool on me. I'm not used to editing and making videos and all that type of stuff, so, okay. Should have said this before I got into that whole diatribe, but welcome back to my channel. Today, if you like this content, can't get my words together. If you like this content, I'd appreciate it if you guys would like the video. Maybe subscribe to the channel and leave a comment. Greatly appreciate it. So guys, I don't want to bore you guys, make a big long video, just talking a whole lot about nothing. I want to make this as short as I possibly can. So we're going to get pretty much right into it. The first game on the schedule, I'm not doing the Thursday night game. I will say though, if you're playing the showdown slate, if Buster Screen is the starting corner, slot corner for the Bears, I would definitely have Geronimo Allison somewhere on my showdown teams, because Allison will be the slot receiver for the Packers. This is all I can say about that game. I don't know anything about that game. I'm glad that game's not on the main slate. I'll tell you that much. Okay, so the Rams at the Panthers. I like Cooper Kupp for the Rams. It's a perfect matchup for him. He's going to be facing a Carolina team that just has a lot of trouble with like inside receivers who cross over the middle of the field. I like Kupp. He's gonna be low owned. He's way too cheap, and if he's in midseason form like he was last year, like I say he is, all the reports say, it could be a great spot for Carolina. A lot of people are gonna play McCaffrey and whatnot. The only guy I like on the Panther side is DJ Moore, and I don't even like him that much. He's kind of a thinner GPP play for me. The Rams defense kind of tightened up last year, letting up big games to outside wide receivers. Who's the corner there? Not to leave. Marcus Peters kind of improved as the season went on last year. So next game is going to be Washington at Philadelphia. By the way, I'm going game by game. I'm not going position by position. Just in case you haven't figured that out yet. I'm sorry. Should have said that. Washington at Philly. From Washington, I don't like anybody. I'm not playing anybody on the Redskins. Okay, guys, you do have to be careful with these underdogs on week one that are division underdogs in week one are like 17-3 against the spread the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons. So be careful with these. But I like Philly here, and I like Wentz to Deshaun Jackson, and I like the Eagles defensive special teams with that new finger injury that D-Jax has. It's gonna make him way less popular. He would have been a pretty popular low-owned play, like 6, 7, 8% range. Now he's 2, according to Roto-Grinders ownership projections. 2% owned, that is. Definitely gonna have some exposure to that stack. But my only concern with him is if he is wearing that finger injury, he was gonna be a situational punt returner for the Eagles this year. I doubt he'll be doing that with a broken finger. I hope he does though, because he'll be way more attractive to play. Bills at the Jets. Okay, this is a tricky game. It's one of the tricky games on this slate. For the Bills, a lot of people are going to play Singletary. I love Singletary this season, but this isn't the spot to play Singletary, in my opinion. I think they're going to use a committee approach here to start the season. I think Singletary will ease his way into the workhorse role as the season progresses. Right here, guys, I like Josh Allen a little bit as a GPP play, and I like there's 2 new receivers in this Bills starting unit, and they're the 2 guys I kind of like. I like John Brown, and I like Cole Beasley. Now, you guys are going to say, we get the John Brown, but Cole Beasley? Like, why would you play Cole Beasley? And I'll tell you why. Greg Williams, the defensive coordinator of the Jets, when he was at the Browns, he used to leave the middle of the field, like, wide open. And they have said in reports from Bills camp that the Bills want Josh Allen to throw the ball. They don't want him to take the shots down the field as much as he was last year. They didn't get into why, but they said him and Beasley have formed a lot of chemistry with those short intermediate targets. And I not only do I like Beasley, but like I said, I like Brown too, because the Jets secondary is just trash, man. It's terrible. Okay? And this is something I'm going to get into later in the video with a certain player. But guys, when you play these, I don't want to say bad players, but when you play these players who aren't like really good, kind of unproven, mediocre players, you mostly want to try to play them at home or on on the road inside of a dome. For whatever reason, over the last few seasons, I've noticed that like the lower tier players are more likely to hit at home and just not outdoors on the road. Basically, it's really bizarre. I don't know why, but in the NBA, in DFS and DraftKings NBA, they always say to play the role players at home. So it's kind of the same mindset that I have here. With the Jets, the only guy I like on the Jets is going to be Jamison Crowder. The Bills have a really low ADOT, pretty good defense. He'll get a lot of slot reps. Darnold could check down to him a bunch of times. He could rack up a lot of catches, maybe fall in the end zone, but it's, GPP play. Falcons at the Vikings. For me, as of right now, guys, this game right here is my favorite game in the entire slate. I love this game. I think this game is going to be a shootout, and I was very disappointed to see something with the ownership as a week has gone on. People are getting on an angle that I'm on right now, and I don't like to see that. I love attacking Xavier Rhodes here with Julio Jones. I really do. But the problem is people on DFS Twitter are getting a little bit, they're catching on to something that I kind of was thinking about a month or two ago when I first looking at this slate, and that's that, man, Xavier Rhodes is getting up there in age. He was okay last year. He's kind of been like not as great as people think he's been the last couple seasons, and Julio Jones, a beast, man. Julio Jones is just an absolute savage. This situation is kind of like, I don't want to get into a big long story, but 3 seasons ago when the Bengals went to the Jets, A.J. Green just destroyed Darrelle Revis, and nobody saw that coming. Everyone thought Revis was a shutdown corner. Revis like 30, 31 years old, and then just boom, he just, that was it. Guys, in a DFS, you got to take chances. You have to try to be first on things that you see. But here's the thing, guys. Julio Jones is 15% owned as of right now, according to RotoGrinders, and Matt Ryan is 7% owned. It's a little bit too high for me, guys, because this game is pretty popular. So what you want to do if you're going to do a game stack, like I'm kind of suggesting, this is one of the only games I would do a game stack with, like a 4, 5, 6 person stack, is I would pair Ryan with Julio and Calvin Ridley, because Calvin Ridley's going to get matched up on Trey Waynes, who's like an average corner. He's okay. He's not that great. He's okay. And then on the other side, man, for the Vikings, I mean, I like everybody on the Vikings offense against Atlanta. I like Cousins. I like Cook. I like Diggs / Thielen. Thielen's going to be more owned than Diggs. I, for whatever reason, think Diggs is going to have a big year this year. Maybe it's just because I'm biased and have a bunch of him in best ball drafts. Definitely could be it. Guys, even Kyle Rudolph. Like, if you need a cheap tight end and you're really on this game, you could toss Rudolph in there. I wouldn't play Rudolph on his own, but if you have like a 4 or 5 man stack from this game, man, throw Rudolph in there. Cousins, obviously, if I like them, I like Cousins. I like Dalvin Cook, like I said, but for Dalvin Cook's sake, I hope that this game I hope the Vikings get behind, because he'll rack up a bunch more catches than I think he would have if the Vikings get in front. But I think this game could be a shootout, man. I really do. I really like this game. It's one of the games that stands out to me on this slate. The Ravens, the Dolphins, guys, man, the Dolphins are just going fire sale. They're going to be terrible this year. They're just totally giving up. Someone on Baltimore is going to crush them. I don't know who it is. I think, anyways. I kind of like Mark Ingram here, guys. I really do. I have a weird feeling that Mark Ingram is going to be pretty good this year. Greg Roman is one of my favorite offensive coordinators in the NFL. He's probably one of the best run game coordinators in the business. People just don't ever give him the respect he deserves. He's really good at what he does. Guys, this Dolphins run defense could be the worst run defense in the NFL. I don't see how they're not. I mean, they have just been, they've given everybody away, man. There's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. But, man, you could play Lamar to Mark Andrews. That's something I did want to throw in this video. It's kind of thin for me. I'd rather have a Lamar play at home, but if I'm gonna play Lamar and pair him with somebody, I'm not pairing him with Miles Boykin. I'm not playing a rookie. I'm not playing an unproven rookie in this situation. We're gonna have a similar situation like that later in the video, but For right now, I'm not playing anybody in the passing game but Lamar to Mark Andrews, and on the ground, it's got to be Mark Ingram. I think Ingram's a nice contrarian play here. I think he's going to be, uh, like 9-10% owned, which it's about right. You can definitely play him in that ownership range. The Chiefs at the Jaguars. This is a game that I could see you could go with like a mini game stack. You could play the only two guys in the Chiefs I would play are Mahomes to Kelsey. Okay, and the only two guys in the Jags I'd play would be Fournette and D.D. Westbrook. I did say in a previous video I did like Chris Conley. I don't really love his cornerback matchups, and after doing more research, most of the big games the Chiefs gave up last year were to slot receivers. They didn't get burned on the outside as much as people think they did. They got beat mostly by slot receivers, and I do think Chris Conley is gonna catch some. I think he's gonna be better than people expect, but I'm not playing him in this matchup. There's just no need. Titans at the Browns is the next one. Okay, this is weird. This is a weird game, man. Because if the Titans had a full healthy offensive line, I think Derrick Henry would be a great play here. But missing two of their with Lawan missing and them searching at right guard, I'm totally off the Titans here. I'm not playing them. For the Browns, oh man, this is weird. This is one of the teams, guys, I'm having some trouble with. There's another team later that I'm having trouble with, but the Browns are weird. It sounds like the Browns want to be a physical football team. They were in pads the first 12 out of 13 days of training camp. And I wrote down that I like Odell and Higgins in this spot. Higgins going to get matched up on Malcolm Butler. Obviously, in the last video, I told you I like Callaway, but Callaway's a total knucklehead and just an idiot. So he's not going to be playing in this game. But, guys, Adoree Jackson got burned by an undrafted rookie receiver in preseason. I don't see how he covers Odell Beckham here. Odell Beckham is very much in play, but so is Higgins. But it also sits in the back of my mind that Nick Chubb could just get fed the rock here. Now, the Titans weren't a great team in terms of yards per rush attempt, but they don't give up a lot of rushing touchdowns. They don't give up a lot of passing touchdowns. This is a little bit of a tricky spot. This could easily also, guys, turn into a really slow-paced, ugly game that you want to. This is one of the games, guys, from the Browns standpoint. I'm not going to lie to you guys and tell you I have a read. This is a tough game for me. Honestly, the guy that I like the most to pay off his value is, as crazy as it sounds, is Higgins. Because, like I said, he's getting matched up on Malcolm Butler. He's one of those unproven players. He's at home. He's not on the road. I think Higgins could pay off value. But, guys, this could easily turn into just an ugly game. So, let's go on to the next one. The Colts at the Chargers. Nobody from the Colts. I mean, dude, Nyheim Hines is super thin if they start losing by a lot. Nyheim Hines could catch some passes. Chargers give a lot of catches to running backs. For the Chargers, I like three things in the Chargers. Really two. I like Hunter Henry a ton, and I like Keenan Allen. Okay, the Colts were really having trouble last season towards the end of the year containing tight ends. Tight ends were like the leading receivers against the Colts in I think 4 of the last 5 games. The Colts were getting burned by tight ends to end the season last year. And slot receivers hurt the Colts, too. That's another thing they have trouble with. So this definitely could be a spot where Keenan Allen has a big game, too. But I'm considering Hunter Henry being my tight end on every single team. He's that much of he's in that good of a spot here, in my opinion. Okay, the Bengals against the Seahawks. Boyd is going to be the most owned receiver on the slate so far, it looks like, at 27%. Okay, the Seahawks secondary did not look good in the preseason. In the game that I watched, I don't remember, I think it was against Minnesota. My problem with Boyd, it's not so much a problem. It's just that I want to attack Seattle on the outside. I don't really get excited about attacking them in the slot. I wish I could attack them on the outside. But this could be just me overthinking it, because it is a good spot. They're 9-point underdogs, I think, which is a little tough to swallow, man. It's tough to play somebody as chalk who's a 9-point road underdog. that's something you got to think about, man. But the new offense with Zach Taylor, the Bengals are a team I'm not really on this year. I think they're going to be kind of trash. So I'm I'm not saying I won't play Boyd, but I don't know, man. I haven't made my mind up on him yet. I think. Hmm, I think I like the Seattle side better than the Cincinnati side. I think on the Seattle side, there's two guys that I like. Don't overthink this. It's Chris Carson and Tyler Lockett. And I think I like Carson more than Lockett just because, you know, like Tyler Lockett 6K. Tyler Lockett is a 25-point game. Tyler Lockett is not like a go-to receiver. They're gonna force feed the ball. Like kind of like a guy who gets a big play or two, and that's it for the day. Like Tyler Lockett is a guy whose ceiling is like 22, 23 points. He has to get like, man. I like Carson. I think more than Lockett here. That but like Evan Silva pointed this out on Twitter. He's going to be playing like really exclusively from the slot for this game with all the injuries they have. So he could crush in this spot. He could easily crush, but I don't know. I gotta think about Lockett a little bit more. Like I said, that price just 6K. He needs 24, 25 points. If the Seahawks are winning by a lot, I don't see them gunning the ball down the field. That's the dude's going to pound it with Chris Carson. And Carson's, I think, less than 7% owned. Might be less than 5% owned if my memory serves me correctly. But both of them definitely in play. San Francisco at Tampa Bay, guys. There's somebody on San Francisco that I think is a fantastic GPP play. And I'm a little embarrassed to recommend somebody to you in the situation that this guy's in for this game, but I think it's a shot worth taking, and that's Deebo Samuel. Okay, guys, not my style to play a rookie, unproven wide receiver outdoors on the road in week 1. Okay, it's a little risky, man. But guys, the 49ers are not going to have Jalen Hurts, it sounds like, and Trent Taylor, which opens up that slot role for Deebo Samuel. And if I could, Deebo Samuel in college just crushed from the slot. That's where he is a beast from the slot, man. He's good on the outside too. Don't get me wrong, but man, he's really good in the slot. And who does he get? His first matchup in the NFL, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was so bad last year, to my memory of covering slot receivers. Not good at all. Now listen, guys, I'm going to throw this out there again. Not my style to usually recommend somebody in that situation in this matchup. But he has looked so good in the tape I've watched this preseason. He's looked amazing, man. He looks like he's going to be a beast. People forget. When people think about Kyle Shanahan, they think about his running backs crushing. People forget that the X-receiver in his offense is always a beast, man. When he has a legit one. Julio had his best fantasy seasons with Kyle Shanahan, to my knowledge. Maybe other than last year. He had a big season last year. But, guys, I think with the news that they're not happy with Pettis, really with the training camp he's had, the injuries to Hurd and Trent Taylor, Jimmy G coming back, there's a lot of moving parts here, guys. And I think this would all be a perfect storm for Deebo Samuel to really emerge as like the 1B to George Kittle as a 1A. I don't know if he's going to overtake Kittle as like the number 1 receiver. Probably not this year. But guys, I really like Deebo this year. And speaking of George Kittle, 6,600 on the road. Not a bad matchup. I'm not going to play Kittle. I like Hunter Henry more as a value play. But Kittle, this is definitely a spot where Kittle could catch a pass over the middle, stiff arm somebody, and score a touchdown. But guys, the problem with Kittle is like Deebo Samuel is so good after the catch. He's so good. He's electric, guys. He was a kick returner in college. Electric after the catch, man. It's like obviously unproven rookie in real games, but I think Deebo, if all things stay the way I think they're going to stay up leading up to Sunday, I think Deebo's a really under the radar GPP play. And I would not talk you off the ledge of playing George Kittle because maybe they don't trust Deebo yet. Maybe he's just gonna be there to just fill a role, and they're gonna force feed Kittle because they don't have a lot of trusted bodies at the receiver position in San Francisco. the running backs here for San Fran, I'm all set. I'm not playing. I like Ingram and Carson in the range of Tevin Coleman, and then for Matt Breida, I'm all set. I'm not playing him in this matchup. Even though I will say Tampa Bay can't cover running, they couldn't cover running backs downfield catching the ball. So like Breida could be in play here, theoretically, but yeah, I don't know. Just there's other guys I like more than the running backs from San Francisco, but I wouldn't. I can see why somebody would play either one of those guys. For Tampa Bay is pretty simple, guys. It's the passing game. It's Winston. I'm not playing OJ Howard here because like I don't think San Francisco really had. If you're playing OJ Howard, you want a blow up game from him. San Francisco didn't really get torched by tight ends. Like they didn't give up. They give up like okay production, but they didn't really give up that like big splash like ceiling game to a tight end that I remember. I don't remember that. So the guys in play here are Godwin and Evans with Winston. I don't know, guys. This is a little. I don't know who the number one is on this team. I'm not going to pretend like I do. So with San Fran last year gave up a lot of steady production to slot receivers, but they gave the big blow up games for the last few seasons to big body boundary wide receivers. So that would fit more into Evans's mold. And I don't know though, guys. I think Godwin's worth taking a shot on here as chalk. I don't. Him and Boyd are two receivers right now, over 20% owned. Right now, I'm leading more Godwin because, like I've already given you Julio and Beckham up top as guys I could see having big games. So Evans is right beneath him at the same price range. So that's a little tough of a price range to decipher from because, you know, Bruce Arians, we don't know what offense they're going to run. I'm leaning more Godwin, though, over Evans. I am. Even though I could, you know, Bruce Arians has a history of a vertical passing game to the outside. You know, that suits right into Evans' wheelhouse, but it almost sounds like just from the coach speak and stuff, guys, that Godwin is going to be a bigger part of this offense than a 6,200 price point would indicate. But I don't know. It's a tough thing to decipher through, and I'm not going to pretend like I have the answer for you guys. Here's a game: the Giants at the Cowboys. Okay, here. Okay, I think this is one of my bold calls of the week, guys. I think the Giants are going to upset the Cowboys here. There, I said it. You heard what I said about the whole division dogs in week one. This is one of the games that there's something about this game is weird. Okay, if this whole Zeke thing carries over into week one, I think there's going to be a big distraction for this team. I do. I don't. This is a team that's, to my knowledge, pretty young. They have a lot of veterans. Jason Garrett is not a champion head coach. And I think they're going to be distracted by this, man. Everyone's going to run and play Tony Pollard in this game. And I'm not saying that he couldn't have a big game here. Their Giants' rush defense was garbage last year. Garbage. But the Giants got, as far as running backs concerned, the Giants got beat up by, big physical, running backs. You know, they did struggle, too, with Tariq Cohen in that one game where he was catching the ball downfield and their linebackers. The linebackers last year weren't good at covering receivers out of the backfield. But, guys, Tony Pollard is not a three-down workhorse back. This is what people aren't talking about. I'm not saying that he can't have a good game here. But I'm probably fading because I think if Zeke doesn't play here, which may very well happen, he's going to be mega chalk. We're talking probably over 40% owned chalk. When guys get to be that high, instead of looking for reasons to play them, I try to look for reasons to fade them. It has to be just a total slam dunk smash spot for me to not play a guy. For me to play a guy at that crazy of ownership. And guys, Pollard is a rookie. He's never played a real game in the NFL. He's not a three-down workhorse back. What happens if he misses a blitz pickup or two, and they take him out of the game? They put Alfred Morrison, who knows their system, who is a bigger, more proven NFL commodity. Listen, all I'm saying is that type of stuff can happen, and then everyone's going to be on Twitter, saying, that if Tony Pollard stayed in the game, he was doing good. But guys, you got to think about this stuff too, okay? If you can't pass protect, you're not going to be able to stay in the game. I don't know anything about Pollard's pass protection. I know nothing about it. I'm not a scout. I'm not pretending to be. All I'm saying from a game theory perspective is you should look for reasons to kind of not play guys when they get to the ownership that he will get to if Zeke does not play. If Zeke does play, Zeke is a little interesting here, but I'm all set because he's missed all of training camp. I'm not probably gonna. I'm a risk take. I like to take risk in DFS, but I'm probably not playing Zeke. I don't really like anyone from the Cowboys, to be honest with you. And I will get to the Giants side after this. Cooper's dealing with an injury, which maybe that will take people off of him. You could play him at low ownership because, like I said in my last video, guys, the Giants struggled badly last year against number one wideouts, and Dak and Amari crushed in man-to-man defense. And the Giants play a fair amount of man-to-man defense. Okay, so to me, I play Dak and Amari here over the running game. What you would want though is the Giants to get out in front. If you play Dak and Amari, in my opinion, you want the Giants to get out in front, and you probably want to run it back with the passing game. For the Giants, man, I'm not telling anyone to not play Saquon. He's an amazing running back. He's so good. But Dallas's rush D at home was really good last year. So I don't think I'm going there. I think I like Evan Ingram here, and I kind of like Sterling Shepard. The Cowboys struggled a little bit against. Well, they didn't. Ingram had 2 solid games against Dallas last year, and the 2 games he played against them. So I like Evan Ingram, and I also like Sterling Shepard. Shepard's been dealing with an injury all training camp, but I think Shepard's an underrated player, and I think you could have a decent game here. I'm not crazy about Shepard. He's probably not going to be on many of my teams, but I want to throw him in there. I'm more on Ingram here than anybody else. Okay, guys, here is the final game. The final game and the most bizarre game on this entire slate we have here. The Detroit Lions against the Arizona Cardinals. Man, this is a game, guys, that I'm not going to pretend like I have a big read on this game. I don't. Okay, I don't know what on earth to make of Arizona. I really don't, and I don't want to lie to you guys and tell you that I love things from this game because this is a weird game, okay? There's some signs coming out of Detroit about Kerryon Johnson that just don't make me love him this season. Like, it sounds like they keep adding personnel that I just taking away. It sounds like it's going to take away usage from him, but like if he was going to be a workhorse running back in this matchup specifically, like it's a good matchup, man. Okay, Arizona's defense is probably going to be trash this year, absolute trash with Kingsbury as the coach of them. But I wish I could see Kerryon's role because he's going to be over 20%, and I think I'm just not playing him here. I think I like Marvin Jones and Galladay more, but even then, man, like Stafford has missed a lot of training camp with some this thing in Detroit, guys. I think the Lions are gonna be a bad team this year. I'm sorry, I just do. If I was gonna play anybody, I'd play a receiver, either Galladay or Marvin Jones, and keep it moving. For Arizona, the only guy I play in Arizona right now is David Johnson. Okay, I'm not getting cute with the passing game here with Murray. I'm not playing Murray here. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of people love Kyler Murray this week. If I did play somebody with Kyler, I like Kirk more than I like Kyler. Meaning I'd play Christian Kirk in a team, but I probably wouldn't play Kyler Murray. Because I don't know, man. I want to see this offense first. And I know I've said in this video, guys, that you have to be first on things, but I just don't have a read on this. I'm not going to lie to myself and tell myself I have like a strong intuition that anyone on either side here is a must play, because I don't. If I did, it would be the passing guys, the receivers on the Lions, and David Johnson on Arizona. That's who I play here. So just wrapping up here, guys. That was the main slate breakdown. Yeah, this is I kind of like this slate. This slate has there's not a ton of chalk that I expected for a week 1 slate. There's always going to be chalk, but it's not too chalky right now. There's some tough decisions to make. I'm going to change. There's a lot of things going to change leading up to Sunday. I'm gonna change my mind on some things. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. I have my player pool. I try to keep my player pool. In case you guys haven't noticed, man, I like keeping the guys that I recommend as thin as possible. I don't want to be giving you guys like 50 different dudes to be on, but I also want to be honest with you about the people that I like and don't like. And I try to make an effort to keep the players I like on a team as small as possible. And like I did with the Atlanta Minnesota game, I'll just tell you basically I like everybody, almost everybody. I like a lot of guys. You know, I don't want to overwhelm you guys with information. But at the end of the day, I can break the games down for you, but you guys are gonna have to make your own decisions because I don't sell picks. I'm not trying to at this point or maybe any point in the future. I've never aspired to do that. I just like to try to tell people what I see. Maybe something I said would help get somebody on a guy who goes off. I'll tell you one thing. This Kansas City Jacksonville game is interesting to me because I think the Chiefs can score on anybody, and I think Jacksonville is going to score on the Chiefs. So that game's interesting, but I wouldn't take it to more than a 3-man. The San Francisco game is interesting with the Tampa Bay. I think that game could be could be a little mini game stack spot. And the Lions in Detroit, that game could be a full game stack. I mean, we know nothing about these teams this year. Okay, we know nothing about Arizona. They were not running their real offense in the preseason. Okay, but there are some warning signs there with Kyler Murray. You know, I don't think it's just overreaction to the preseason. There's some legitimate concerns with his height and that if, you know, what their offense is going to look like with him running it. But, guys, that's going to do it for the first breakdown I've done on this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I hope I didn't overwhelm you guys. Too much information, too many players I'm on. But I'm not here to make decisions for you. I'm just here to give you my perspective and tell you what I think about this slate. And I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys had a good summer. And it's football season, baby. It's back. So have a good night.